And welcome guys to another video. Now, this video is to mostly address an elephant in the room, which, is pretty much a patching system that I seen on the asset store. And I was, working on one myself a little bit and everything, but I was like, why should I reinvent the wheel when it's already made pretty much for me? And this was free as well. So I'm like, well, this looks like a very good thing to make a tutorial on, and just flat out start incorporating in some of our projects for the channel. And I ran into this error right here. Now, usually when I get an error like this and everything else, I'll start debugging scripts and stuff like that. But unfortunately, this project, because it's free and everything else, is all compiled into a DLL, which makes it unreadable for me, which really sucks. But it does actually come, and it's supposed to work for Unity free and all that stuff. Well, this is the problem I come up with. I hit play and everything else, and this is supposed to run through a thing with no errors, and then hit play, and then we got a scene, right? Well, the problem with it is, okay, if you already have a project, like this is pretty an empty one. I mean, this stuff isn't filled in, but I didn't see like it being required. It doesn't say anything in the documentation that this is actually necessary. Okay. But here's what he does. And, I'm cool with it. He actually gave pictures to it. And these pictures incorporate a few other things. And the video he actually displayed. So in my build setting, I added this scene as the first one that comes up, because we're going to patch this stuff. And if there doesn't need any patches, we go directly to the first scene. Okay? So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So one of the things he does is he goes up here, he goes into the build, and he builds these out. Well, you click on this little thing right here, and you get versions and stuff like that. I don't know why there's stuff here. That makes no sense. So let's just explore the folder. And I've already got patches in here, but let's just delete that. Let's just delete that too. Actually, let's just delete this whole folder right here. And then we will just save the scene. And actually, that probably didn't even matter anyway. But for the most part, let's just open this up again. I'm gonna put 64-bit, and I've got a 64-bit. So, and my game name is going to be test. Okay. This really shouldn't affect it at all. But what I'm going to do is, since it's no longer in the project and stuff like that, I am just going to go put this in here, and I'm going to put 3.0, right? Start. Add a test version. And before you get into all this and everything else, he does one thing. He actually goes into the build setting, and well, here's the build patcher. He had settings right here, but he had FTP unticked. Didn't change any of this. This is all the same from where it was at, so this shouldn't have to change at all. Okay. And I'm going to call this test, okay, which is, well, let's call it test build. Okay. And got this all done. Now I'm going to hit this right here. And what this does is it runs through and starts up an internal thing to make a build of some sort for Unity to use, right? And it's basically a compile, I believe, so it can compile all the binary like things. And then when you build out, it'll use a lot of that. So it's kind of hard to explain, but it needs its file system done and everything else so that it can use the patches, right? It's kind of like, hey, what am I patching? So it'll run through this and stuff, which will take a minute. But when this is running, let's talk about this. Okay, the reason why I would like is because this would be really, really nice for my tutorials. Secondly, the creator of this, he can't make a video where he's actually speaking because I don't think he speaks English. Okay, which is, it's very common for other people in other countries and stuff like that to make things that not necessarily are bad, but you can't speak to him fluently in English, and that's not his fault. I don't fault him for that. If he makes a good, it's kind of like, okay, I don't care who makes the Corvette. I just want to drive it down the road and be like a super filthy rich or whatever guy, right? Or a Lambo or a Porsche or anything like that. I don't care who makes. I don't care if he can speak a lick of English. If his car is nice and I got the money, I want to drive that thing down the street in style, right? And that's basically how I look about it. I'm like, I don't have to make this system. Somebody's already made it for me, and they made it available for me for free. So if I get this working, I can put it in my tutorials, and it helps him because my tutorial will be in English, which is going to be most of his audience to buy things anyway, right? And I'm like, this benefits the channel, and it benefits him. And two, if he likes the tutorial that I make, he can literally use it to help himself or debug problems with his project, right? Like, oh, maybe this shouldn't be like coded this way. Maybe we can like do something that'll make it 100 times easier to understand, right? And it all comes down to that. Just like games. People, developers love to get feedback and stuff like that because there's mechanics in there that they'll put like nobody uses it. So they use that criticism to build a better game. Like, nobody likes paying like $50-some for a game and then pay $100 to be able to keep any items that your character has. What's that? So they'll get criticized and like basically like review bombed for it because you should be able to keep your freaking items for your character, right? So then they change it, they patch it. So with anything, we've already created the patches, okay? So we make a build now, okay? This makes our build. And remember, I'm going to use the very, very same. Can I put this window in here somewhere? Yes, I can. I'm going to use test build as the very same thing of my thing, right? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to build test build. And all I'm going to do is go, I don't want to put the thing in here like this. I always put it in a folder and call it builds. Okay, and then I go here, which this shouldn't affect it at all, right? This is called test. Why is it called test? And what I'm going to do, man, I did, didn't I? Okay, I'm going to put cancel this window up here. That way, no spelling problems ever occur. Like, I've never spelled something really terrible. I'm going to put test, B, test build, okay? And I'm going to hit save, okay? And it'll build out, and, you know, this is pretty much what the guy did right here. Now, the next thing that he done is he test build. Why did I put it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's terrible. I don't want that. Okay, let's go builds test build. Rebuild it. Then I'll delete the 2 folders that's there. Which shouldn't affect it, you know. Okay. So that's all done up and everything, and we have that stuff. Okay. I'll get this folder out of here because it's clogging up my screen and I don't like it. Okay. So now what we do is we go into my other scene, okay? The scene that I created, because this is the default one, okay? There's nothing special in here and everything else. Well, all I'm going to do is because it's making a change, and that's all I want. And all I'm going to do is take the cube, and I'm going to scale it up so it looks really goofballish. Now I'm going to go down here to materials, and if any materials whatsoever is in the project, I'm going to use them. Let's do some weird black material. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not doing that crap. It looks dumb. Ooh, let's do the red. No, I don't like it. Green? I can live with the green. It's not too hard on the eyes. So now I'm going to save the scene. And because I made changes and everything else, I have to make a new patch, right? That's to be expected. Okay? That's the way that I understand it. This is the patcher and everything, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure, where's them windows? The build thingy, okay? That's there. I'm going to make sure the other one is set up exactly the way it was, and it is. Good. I'm going to build it for 64, and I'll add a new version. 3.01, right? And this should add a new version. And it's still test build and everything. So now I'll have it build out. And this is basically all he did right there. Okay. So if I go and hit play, I shouldn't get that error whatsoever. If I go into the build, what it should do is just work. And that's basically everything that's in that particular scenario, right? And I'm like, well, this is kind of cool. You know, test version. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Alright. This is compiling now. It gives me this warning about the control thing, which I don't think it's actually doing anything wrong. But now the patches are getting built again. Okay, which that's to be expected. You've got patches, you're going to be building them, blah blah blah. But you know, this is all the stuff that he did in it. Okay, and the manual images. Let's open them up in Explorer. Okay. Which I'm not against how he done it, but it's, and two, you know, he doesn't speak no English, so you can't fault him for it. He goes, Patcher? Okay, yep, I did that. Am I going to be able to select? Oh, there we go. Patcher, yep, okay. We did that. We've got those 3 scripts. Patcher. Got this, this, and this. Game updated, and this is for the patcher. And it says update done. Game was updated. Okay, and it comes from this. Yep, okay, that's cool. We got that. Now, control version. Okay, yep. Control version, upgrade required. Button activity, yep, it's done. The script, version info, progress. That is on the canvas, right? Yep, okay. It's all filled in. Okay. Wait, system thread dot exception. Wow. Oh, that's probably... Why did it have that? That's kind of weird. The click update. This isn't required. But it's there. The play. That's there. 1. We did that. We have this. Okay. Don't necessarily know what this is all about right here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of in the dark on that one. Update patch scene? Why is that there? Just for giggles, we will go into the build thing. And in the scenes, where's the scenes? I ain't got enough room. Separate. Ah, there it is. I'll put this on the 3rd. Okay, so that's technically there. The demo doesn't have to be there and everything, and I hit start. And that's exactly what all he has. Okay? I don't know, that abort thread, that shouldn't affect it. but it'll still come out to the same error. And it just doesn't make sense to me, guys. I mean, that's all the instructions, right? I mean, there's nothing else that I could possibly do to this. All right. Now I was thinking, well, maybe this is just some stupid editor thing, right? So I went into the builds for the actual build that we use. Windowed, doesn't matter because there's nothing there. And it still doesn't. Okay. So this is the null thingy, which is really stupid. I don't get it. I don't even get why it's a system.net request anyway. It doesn't make sense to me. I hit play, and the build is the old one, right? So what I'm thinking is what we'll do, just for giggles, I'm going to go up to... Oh, it did not make that build. So you know what? We'll just make this do another one. Let's just try it again. Maybe it's something to do with threading and it had a problem. Maybe the thread didn't die when it was supposed to. Or maybe it's my recording software using a thread that it's not supposed to when it's doing this. That could possibly be it. Which wouldn't make sense to me. I mean, why would that be a thing? That would just be ridiculously retarded of a thing. So we'll let it go through the build thing again. Just because it's a thing, right? But I don't see where I'm doing something wrong, right? And the documentation, he doesn't write English and he can't just speak, so naturally we're just going to have to deal with something, right? So I'm like, I'll make a video of what I did and then I'll tweet it to him, right? And he'll probably get back to me and be like, oh, this is what you're doing wrong. And I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, really? So simple. That's usually how errors go. I don't have the source code for this, which really puts it down because I just can't look up how it's being done in the background, right? If I could see like the source code, I could probably figure out what's going on in the background and probably fix it. Or just hard code like a fix in for myself. But I can't, and there's potential ups and downs to that. But the biggest thing is, remember guys, he don't speak English, so he can't make a video explaining everything. Okay? I really want to be excessive on that. So, hopefully this tweet goes good so that we can, he'll tweet back to me and be like, oh, this is what's going on. Okay? And then I fix it and then make a big old nice video for you guys. And that will be super epic awesome. But yeah, that's what I've been doing and everything, trying to figure this out and just get stuff up and running for other things. Because the really cool thing would be to get this patching system to work so that, well, that didn't give me an error for the thread, which is nice. Okay. Because I really want to make a tutorial over this and putting it into a game. But like anything else, it happens, and you know, what can you do about it? I don't know. But this is my experience with this kit. I'll try to put a link in the bottom of the screen for you. Maybe something else is going on. Maybe I'm just being retarded and don't know how to use it in the first place. Which I'm not saying that could happen. But I want to thank you guys for watching. If the developer's watching, I really would like to try to figure out a solution so I can make a solution for everyone else. I mean, I'm willing to work with you guys, I guess you could say. But if it's the English thing that's the problem, I will make videos for it. I'll be frankly honest with that one. But peace out, guys. I'll leave a link to the asset store thing for it. And appreciate your time and watching me babble on dumb stuff or whatever. But take care and hope something gets, resolved.